Hey, gang, good morning to you again from the bedroom again. We're doing the bedroom slash office. We use this as an office, but I'm just sitting on my bed. Again, because it's rained the other day, as you know, in LA, and all the places that I sit outside are soaking wet. So, uh, talking to you right now from the bedroom, and I'm not wearing a green shirt. I did a little private video for an FOB whose son is a huge fan. He's a cute kid. He's awesome. I use him in my show all the time. And I sent out a private little birthday greeting for the little guy yesterday. I hope he got it. I like doing stuff like that when I can. But the thing I wanted to mention to you, I'm not going to show it to you. It was just me saying happy birthday, but it's just for them. So just let them enjoy it. But I'm in front of this green wall in my bedroom, and I was wearing a green t-shirt. So I just kind of wanted to say to that mom, you know who you are. I hope my head doesn't look like I was floating around the room. It's weird, and I just made the camera get dark here for some reason. I put my hand in front of it. I don't know why. That's why I came inside for better lighting, and now it's a problem. But I think you can still see me. Hey, I wanted to talk to you guys this morning about something kind of weird that happened the other day on Facebook. As you know, on Facebook, I'm doing a lot of posts over there. That's where the general audience is. Over here is a place where I do these personal videos. And like I said last time, when I start working again, fingers crossed. Well, I hope that didn't come off as me giving you the finger. I'm actually doing the fingers crossed. Taking you guys backstage and all sorts of little private stuff, of the life of a hardworking blue collar entertainer. Something kind of weird. So I post on Facebook a lot, and as a lot of you guys know, I'm pretty good at it. I'm pretty good at engaging social media. I figured out how to do comedy on social media. A lot of us, when Facebook started, it was like, hey, I'm doing a show here, come buy tickets. And I still do that, of course. That's where I sell most of the tickets for theater shows that I do with Mooney. And I'll promote all the Ren fairs and stuff that I'm at and put up the ticket links there. But it took a while to figure out how to engage an audience and be funny in social media and do what this is about. Now, it's social media, which means it's back and forth. It's back and forth. You see me at a theater, you see me at a Ren fair. It's back and forth. You guys talk back, and I, of course, riff with whatever you say, and I'm known for that, I guess, to some degree. But really, it's a one-way conversation. It's me talking. It's me giving and you receiving, and then laughing and having a good time and clapping, and at the end dropping something in my hat or whatever. But social media, for a lot of performers, we had to figure out how to be engaging and funny in a medium that is clearly designed for back and forth. Clearly designed for that. See, so I try, if you go over and look at my posts on Facebook, which I assume you all are also Facebook followers, I do most of them my Brian Howard thing and not at my Brune one, which is kind of weird. I don't know why I did that, because of course Brune is a fan page. It's one of those celebrity pages, minor celebrity, of course, public figure page, and a lot more people can like that than I guess can be my Facebook friend. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but I think that's the deal. So the audience is bigger on the Brune. I could do more stuff there, but I don't. I put it on just regular Brian Howard because I figure that's most people. This is the face and the clothes and the environment I want to engage you guys with on social media more than Brune per se. By the way, I'm digressing a lot. I haven't sipped my coffee, and yes, we have the classic goofy thing going. And yes, it's backwards for you guys, but sorry. In the real world, this Leonardo da Vinci print behind me is going to the right side of my head, and that window is on my left. There. And this mole, I always know it's me in mirror. You can't see it because I haven't shaved in days because of quarantine, is on the right side of my face. All right, we're caught up with me, and I part my hair on the left. Okay, enough. Okay. So social media engagement. I didn't figure it out right away. It took me a while to figure it out, and I finally did. And what was great about figuring out the social media engagement was I realized that the best way to post on social media to be fun and engaging and entertaining is open-ended stuff. Stuff that either asks a question or makes a statement, which is a clear statement which can be run with by you guys, by the audience. And then I can either just laugh at the comments and give thumbs up. And, I have a lot of followers and friends on Facebook. So anytime you comment on something I say, a lot of people are going to see it. An added little bonus or a warning. If you're on social media and you want to lurk, you don't want a lot of people to friend request you, just be careful, because if you say something on a thread that I started, thousands of people are going to see it. It's not just going to be maybe Bob and his 30 friends. It's going to be me and thousands of potential people are going to see it. So just keep that in mind. And we're going to get to why that's important in a second. So I ask open-ended questions. That's, of course, where bad advice came from. It was, that's very obviously an open-ended question, bad advice. And I've been doing the one where, what can I do for you? What can I get you? And that one usually is whatever people ask that they need, I'm going to give a response and try to have it be funny. I try to do those fast. I try to only put those posts up when I have an hour of open time. I'm just chilling out. I'm drinking a coffee. I'm having a beer. I'm watching TV. I'm not really paying attention to what's on TV because TV's very boring for me. Doesn't keep the brain stimulated enough. So I ask those open-ended questions, and the bad advice and the what can I do for you, what can I get you ones are meant for me to respond real quick when I can. You guys post, I try to have the bad advice within seconds. You say, I need this, I try to have the response, and I try to make it funny as I can. Can't always, but it's a good exercise for me. It's both a good improv exercise for me, and it's also a good writing exercise for me. So that's how I learned how to deal with social media. If you go to my post, just in the middle of this video, you can pause it, come back to it. You will just go see the last 3 or 4 posts I've done. They all have that aspect. They all have something kind of funny little joke, but also something that's a kind of an offer to respond to or to just add to. Those work the best. And as you know, I kind of color code my posts. When it's that kind of post, it often has the red background with the black lettering. That's another thing that I figured to brand my, as I go across your feed, you're going to see that red and black, of course, which are the color schemes of Brune. So I'm sure you guys already got that. At least most of you did. That's why I do that. I don't always do it. So some kind of weird happened the other day because I made a post which I thought was pretty fun because I had some sexy industry worker friends, strippers, burlesque performers. I know a lot of people in a lot of weird walks of life. I've done some shows at burlesque shows, some sets, I should say. My sets. I wasn't stripping. Nobody. I look okay. As I told you the other day, I lost some weight. I'm looking a little ripped right now. But there's men that do burlesque and strip who look great. So they don't need middle-aged me. So I made this post the other day saying, hey, they're doing these things called OnlyFans. I have a friend, and I'm not going to use anybody. I don't want to promote. And I also not sure if somebody wants their name mentioned on my Patreon, so I'm not going to use any names. But I have some friends that say, hey, check out my OnlyFans. They're not talking to me. They're talking to all their friends, and they're strippers, or like I said, or nude models, or sexy models, or burlesque people. And the idea is I guess OnlyFans is kind of like this, except I guess they allow nudity, I guess. And the idea is that you pledge, just like you do here, and but over at OnlyFans, I guess you can, again, do nudity and stuff. So these sexy industry workers are doing that. And so I made a post, because I immediately thought of a joke. One, I wanted to promote my friends that are doing that. And then I figured, let me think of a good joke to tie it in at the end. And the joke is, I have friends that are doing this, so if you're so inclined, please support them in this time where they can't leave their house. They can't go to their gigs. They're gig workers. Don't forget all the clubs and stuff where those people dance and entertain, and the burlesque shows are all shut down. So go over there, pledge a little something in support. And my idea was, for $5, I will send you a nude, and for $20, I will stop sending you nudes. That was my joke. And I've also found that back and forth things on Facebook, because it is an 18 and up audience, I always, every like third or fourth little post I'll do will have a little titillation, something a little risque. Nudity will be mentioned. Something sexy will be mentioned, because I found that the audience likes that. And I like it. I like knowing that you can be adults and imply or joke, whatever you want to do, and have sex be part of it, have nudity be part of it. So obviously in this comment, I'm offering nude pictures. If knowing that there'd be a lot of great comments, and there was all sorts of really funny comments. Everybody took it really well, and they were really fun with it. It's a lot of little implied winky winky, hey, send me my nudes, and I'm working on it. Once I get all the shaving and the manscaping the way I want it, because I'm Robin Williams under here, just FYI. I don't grow my beard in very well right here, yet for some reason, no problem down here. Not hairy on the legs either. Not hairy legs. Not hairy. I know this is a digression, and it doesn't have the same impact with coffee, but I am digressing. Full head of hair, thinning on top a little bit, but you know, my dad had a full head of hair till he died, so hopefully I will too. Not even much gray. Not even much gray. Yet, hirsute. Not, and I can't believe I'm still talking about this, not Robin Williams, hirsute. I think I already mentioned Robin Williams, because he was a hairy guy. I don't know how I could compare it. I'm not Bigfoot. Anyway, so that comment happened, that post happened, and a lot of great comments, a lot of fun, a lot of little winky winky kind of hey, you know, where's my nudes, and those are fun to play with too. Great, you know, really great back and forth. It then came to my attention that a friend made a comment and was put in Facebook jail for 24 hours. A comment on the thread where I'm saying, hey, give me $5, I'll send you a nude. For $20, I'll stop sending you nudes. The post is itself risque. It mentions nudity. It mentions selling nudes. Whatever. The post is still up, by the way, on Facebook. The post is still there. Most people, everybody's comments is, except for this one person, still there. And then my friend reached out to me yesterday and said, hey, just FYI, because she's someone who is always very, very funny. She's very good at Facebook comedy herself, so she's great. She makes great comments, and I always laugh at her stuff because she's pretty damn good at it. In fact, she should be a comedy writer. She said, "Hey man, I was on Facebook jail for 24 hours because of a comment I made on your nude selfie thread." And she just reached out to me and said, just so FYI, just be aware, people are, she didn't know if it was a bot or somebody got offended. And I said, well, what was your joke? And I can't remember the joke at the top of my head, but it was a great joke. It was nothing. It was nothing. It was great. It was great. It was something about, if I send you $10, can I get a nude and some cat facts? I think that was it. That's it. That's it. Taking the joke I had said, plenty of other people have already also said, what do I get for 50? Okay. Plenty of other people said, you've been sending them to me for years. If I send you 100, can I send them all back? Or some people said, if I give you 30, can you send the nudes to somebody else of my own choosing? You know, lots of great comments. Her joke was $10, you know, more than 5, obviously, but less than 20. Again, good comedy writing. See, can't say 20 because I've already said in the original joke what would happen for that. So she chose 10. $10. Do I get a nude and a cat fact? Because it's the internet. It's Facebook. Cat facts. She could have said cat video. She chose cat fact. I'm not sure if she knew, but cat fact, of course, sounds funnier. Cat fact. Cat fact. It's going to be a long video today, in case you haven't figured out, because I'm kind of weirdly fired up about this, because it bothers me, but I'm not. This is not a rant. It's just interesting. So the question is, one, why does that joke get flagged? Two, was it a person? Did somebody who follows me on Facebook find that comment offensive, even though the entire thread was started from a comment about, I'm going to send you nudes? That seems odd. That seems strangely odd. Now, if I had made a comment about, who knows, just something random about the Dodgers losing a game, and then somebody said, if I send you $10, will you send me a nude and cat pics? Nothing to do with what I said. I don't know, that's out of left field. Still, I would be offended by that. I would think that's great. It's funny. It's adult. It's a little risque. It's got all the ingredients of good social media interaction. And yet here's this comment which was put on a thread that's basic premise, because my friend said this. She said maybe it was because my comment was trying to elicit nudes or get you to send nude pictures. But of course, the entire thread was that. The entire thread was me offering to do that. So was it a bot? Because, you know, Facebook sends out algorithmic little spider bots, and they look for things, and if it flags, it flags. The NSA is, you know, on that to some degree. We know that technology exists. We know it exists. Remember, like last year, I think it was last year, when I was doing a beer and songs, and I didn't know a song. That's why when you guys request beer and songs, and I have to figure out what the song is, I have to be very careful. I opened up a tab on my laptop, and I'm over here doing it, going, all right, hang on, guys, and listen to this song. And I started listening to the song. Immediately, my feed was gone. I logged on 5 minutes later, got right back to it. Most of the audience came back. I thought that was weird. I never knew if it was, a bot or if it was just my internet. And of course, here on Patreon, remember that time I tried to sing that song for you guys from Pearl Jam? I said the name Pearl Jam and recorded the whole video and then put it up. And then the video was removed from Patreon. The video, I think, still existed over at YouTube. I think most of you guys went over and checked it out over there. So that stuff is out there. I don't think that some lawyer for Pearl Jam was sitting there scouring all of the internet and found me singing whatever the hell I was singing. It was probably a bot. The word Pearl Jam got hit. And then they heard a guy playing a guitar. And yet I do beer and songs no problem every Wednesday, and it never is a problem until you play the exact music. So you can sometimes do it, but I guess not on Patreon, because this is a creator website. This is meant to be artists creating and bringing an audience along for the ride. You're supposed to be seeing painters, people doing original music, comedian people taking you on the road when they can finally get out of their house and take you on the road. I'll try to make it exciting, by the way, because a lot of my on-the-road stuff is boring. But for you, we'll make it exciting. I'll walk around O'Hare Airport singing Pearl Jam songs, and we'll wait to be tackled. So who knows? Is it a bot? Is it a person? So my friend and I, we chatted about that a bit, and I thought I wanted to, and I mentioned to her I was going to talk about that at this video. I didn't want to mention her name, give her some privacy. So that's weird. Do people behave differently? Because I don't think it was a bot. I think a person saw her comment amongst the hundreds of comments going over to that thread. It's still up. It's still funny. It's still entertaining. And, sorry, my screen keeps darkening. I'm on battery. And why did hers stand out? I didn't think hers was obscene at all. I don't get it. Which makes me wonder, and this was the thing I wanted to ask you guys today. Again, a video which asks a question, same as my post at Facebook. See? Engagement. I'm getting good at this. Do people And I'm asking this question knowing what the answer is, and I know that you know what the answer is, but I'm still going to say it. Do people behave differently on social media than they do in real life? Are they offended more on social media than they would be in real life? And do they take action more for that offense more on social media than they do in real life? The answer to all three, don't even bother, is yes, yes, yes. Of course they do. The animosity, not the animosity, the anonymous nature, even though our names are there, but we can still flag things and complain and not be known who we were. The anonymous nature of social media enables people. The anonymous nature of it enables you to get offended. As a performer who likes to work, I'm not a blue performer. I don't cuss a lot when I do shows at all. But I'll do the occasional sexy comment and the occasional thing. Sorry, I just realized that if I tilt the entire angle of the shot like this, I'll get more of the daylight coming in through the window. And then you'll get this cool reflection of the sconce above my head. Yes, digression. I'm not going to drink any more coffee right now because I'm getting a little wired. So of course people are doing that. And in this day and age of having to respond to the offense, and if I didn't make a video about this, I think I did touch upon this in like the second or third video I ever did for you guys. We were talking about, I think, you go back and check, I don't have it memorized, but this is ringing a bell. So if I'm going over material I've already talked about, I do apologize. But I'm a stern believer as the artist never apologizes. Art can't apologize. As soon as art apologizes, it's not art. As soon as you as an artist apologize for someone else's offense by something you've done, that changes what art is. Now, I don't want that to sound like I'm aggressively hateful of people that get offended. I am not. I understand their situation. Everyone's different. We all have things that will bother us and trigger us. My job as an artist is to take you to that line and not necessarily push you over the edge of it. I work mostly in a market that's a family-friendly theme park type market. If I worked on stage exclusively, I mean in a theater, solo, which I don't. I've tried a few times. I couldn't sell enough tickets. Who knows? That might change. But if you see a Mooney and Brune show, for example, you'll definitely see edgier stuff because you paid to come into that room. You guys chose to be an audience for us as artists that night at that show. And that's a covenant that you make. You chose to be a Patreon of mine. But still, this is the real me. I'm not somebody's gonna drop a lot of F-bombs. So relax. You're good. So if a person is emboldened to complain a lot and to be offended, and we've all seen it. It happened in the past 20 years. This had a lot to do with it. A lot of the blame goes on the doorstep of I'm blanking on his name right now. The guy that invented Facebook. Zuckerberg. There you go. Can't remember his first name. It enabled offense. We've all seen the videos of the people on their phones complaining about something somebody else is doing. We all, Gen X, Gen Millennial, this is their weapon. They think I'm going to film something that's bothering me rather than having an engaged conversation about it. As if that's the end of it. I'm going to film what offends me, and I'm going to put it up and look at this thing that offended me. Rather than explore what's between here and explore what's out here. So somebody sees a comment on a thread that was about sexy stuff. It was a sexy, naughty thread. It was R-rated. It was PG rated, of course. There's no visuals, so it's all in your imagination. If you reading the thread or picturing me naked, that's your thing. That's on you. You can get offended in your head. But if you do, please picture really good manscaping. And remember, I'm a little skinnier now, so picture ripped Brian and not middle of the summer, had way too many beers at the O'Hare bar on his way to the next gig, Brian. Although in the summer I'm usually in better shape because I'm working a lot. Don't picture winter Brian. Don't picture January 1st Brian. And please try to ignore my superfluous third nipple. So that's, I said I was going to go long today because I kind of wanted to take a lot of time with this. So this video will take a long time to load. So I'm recording it in the AM, believe it or not, here in LA. Yeah, it's still the AM. You guys probably won't see it until mid-afternoon. So my apologies. So it's Coffee with Brian, and a lot of you people are already starting dinner. So I don't know what to do about that. Nothing I can. You just have to accept. You have to roll with it. As long as that's the society that we have, where somebody gets a little peeved because of a funny, very funny comment on a sexy comment on a very funny, sexy thread. It is what it is. If you're out there and you're listening to this right now, and I think I have 134 Patreons right now. I'm willing to go out on a limb and assume that most of you are probably not that kind of person. I can't guarantee it. If you are, and if you have been bothered by stuff, and I get pissed. I rail in my head at stuff that bothers me, but then I calm down and realize, hey, that bothered me. And that's, I guess, what I was trying to get to just now. Being offended went from an internal thing to an external thing in the past 10 years. Since, like I said, Facebook, I think. It used to be, oh, I'm so offended. Oh, and the clutchy pearl thing. Oh, can you believe he did that or whatever? Maybe talking to one friend. And that was it. Maybe the occasional letter to the editor, maybe the occasional complaint in the newspaper, which took a little more effort than Facebook, of course. But that was it. It wasn't a show thing. It wasn't a grandstand being offended. It wasn't something to even be proud of. And that's the thing. I'd like to get back to a time where being offended is something that maybe you should be a little bit ashamed of. You're bothered by that joke. I feel bad that I'm bothered. I shouldn't be bothered by that joke. I really should grow a pair. I really should. And by the way, when I say pair, I mean ovaries, because, you know, I'm one of those people that wants to change that to a feminine-based comment. And right there, I made a little joke. That might have offended people. I don't know. I have no solution for you, other than maybe I hate the idea of internet shaming. It bothers me to this day that people get shamed for a mistake that they might have made. One mistake. A lot of entertainers, every year, entertainers shamed. They'll say an off-color joke, a joke that offends a particular group. Shamed right out of a career or a job. I'm not in favor of that. I don't think an artist should always apologize. We do. Plenty of artists will say, I'm terribly sorry, and they'll really mean it. Other artists will do that kind of non-apology apology. I'm sorry if you were offended. And then that offends people. So I don't know what to do about it. Now, in that instance of what happened over on my Facebook, it wasn't a big deal. Facebook cops are not knocking on my door. Nobody on that thread knows, except for now. It's not a big deal. I'm not trying to make it a big deal, that particular incident. But the culture of that, the culture of I'm offended, click, complaint. I'm offended, click, complaint. I'm offended, click, complaint. It's going to change our art. I guess that's how I'm going to wrap this up. And it's not good news. I guess it's a warning. It's a warning. Maybe this video will have legs and last longer than any of the other ones. And I'll keep preaching from beyond the grave eventually. The easier we're making it to get some sort of weird Schadenfreude, some weird insecure boost from being offended, And I think that's what it is. I think most people that do these these things where they're offended and they complain and they get a post removed from Facebook or what have you. If it was a person, we still don't know. It could be a bot. But right now we're talking about the people. We're ignoring the bots. We're talking about because people really do complain. Let's be honest, they do. So that's what we're talking about. They get a little thrill. To them, there's this little, oh, look at the power I have. Well, you don't. It's an insecure. It's insecure outrage. It's an insecure outburst. It's a 4-year-old crying, rolling around on the floor at Disneyland because he's crabby and didn't want to wait in line for the hot dog. That's what it is. It's an adult version of that. If you're doing that, that's what it is. You're offended. That should be the end of it. You're offended. I'm offended. It's me. That's on me. I'm going to work that out. Not my job to change the world so that it fits me not being offended. Because that, and this is again why artists should never apologize, is a very, very, very dull world. The guy right here behind me offended everybody. Leonardo da Vinci. Okay? He cut open cadavers. Okay? Obvious homosexual in a time when that wasn't necessarily a good thing. Okay? Designed weapons for people because that's what paid the bill, but also did paintings that asked questions. Should he apologize that he cut open a body and learned how it worked and probably advanced medical science? Should he apologize that he changed the background in the painting known as the Mona Lisa to change the way that classic art structure was created? Should he change that? There's Vitruvian Man right there with his penis right there. If that was painted today and put up on Facebook, look at my painting, would people complain? To have it removed? Let me just say, thank God the Renaissance happened back then, because it might not be able to now. I am going to continue to post what I want. I'm going to continue to make open-ended commentary. I'm going to continue to give bad advice. I'm going to continue to make the occasional sexy kind of risque post for all the grown-ups in the room, and it's going to get sexy risque responses. And I'm going to keep doing that because as an artist, that is my prerogative. To open your brain, to make you laugh, to make you think, to make you have a good time. And if anybody's offended by any of that, I'm sorry you're offended. And by that I mean, I'm sorry that you feel the need to be offended. I do not apologize for being the source of your offense. And no artist ever should. So there. That ties it into a nice bow. Longest video ever on Patreon. We're at 34 minutes coming up. So I want to thank you for sticking with me this long. Love you all very much. Try not to be offended by the world. If you are, think of it this way. Maybe here's a final message. That sense of offense is really your brain being challenged just for a moment. Just for a moment, your brain got a little challenged. And you had 2 doors to go through. It's kind of like the lady or the tiger. Wait for you guys to look that up. Choose the door that's not offense. Choose the door that's, oh, that was different. That was sexy. That was maybe violent. That was maybe gross. That was maybe offended my faith, my sexuality, the way I vote. But you know what? It just triggered my brain to fire off, to think. I'm going to choose not to be offended and instead go, a different opinion. A different opinion. The world is now not as smooth as it was a second ago. The world has bumps and crags and towers and holes. The world is more like the top of an English muffin. So thanks, guys. I hope your worlds are more crunchy and crispy and covered with buttery goodness and whatever flavor of jam you like. This is your internet buddy. To all the FOB out there, thank you very much for your support. Welcome to the new FOB. I don't have the names in front of me right now. My apologies, but there's been a few new that have joined us. Welcome to the people that have just joined us. I'll see you all Wednesday night at Beer and Songs over on the aforementioned Facebook. I doubt we'll mention this. This is just between us. Have a wonderful day.